Shalom, shalom. Thank you for sisters to being here one-on-one as usual. Dalia Kadash, Mr. Correct Princess, Sister Bathaya. Thank you for being here as always. Y'all are the pillars of these classes, and I pray that everybody else come on these classes and listen in and learn and get an understanding of these scriptures. Um, About to go into the new moon, many things. Also, I have a Haitian Bible, right? So y'all could. I'm not gonna read in Creole. I can, but I have basically a translation of what is being said and a time frame um, in the scriptures I'm about to read certain things, and I hope that y'all gather something from that. That is very important because the new moon. Let me see. It's a long paragraph though. It's about history before in Creole and all that. Listen, I'll do like this. If y'all could answer, if y'all could answer certain questions, I read a couple of verses. All right. But now I want to ask one question to begin. Right. The new moon represents what? When we look at the new moon and the phases of the moon, and the new moon is empty, right? But I'm asking a question. What does the new moon represent? What does the new moon represent? Right? And I'm going to start, while y'all thinking about that answer, I'm going to start with Genesis chapter 1, verse 14 to 19. Right? Yeah, you could say that. You could say that. You could say that. Yes, you could say that. But I'm looking for a different answer. Right? What does the new moon represent? Right? Now, I'm going to start with Genesis chapter 1, verse 14. Khan, Sister Dayakdash. Son, it's the start of a new month, right? And a new month allows you to assess progress. It shows the passage of time. It shows either progress or a decline. And we could see that in nature. We could see that in form of time. And everything we do, whether we succeed or not, we always say, dang, a whole month went by and I didn't X, Y, and Z, or I didn't succeed in this. Maybe I should change my strategy. It gives you subconsciously a sort of a deadline to do what you need to do. It could be 2 weeks, even if it's 3 days. You have from the new moon, you have a measuring stick. So because 3 days from the beginning of the month is 10% of 30 days, right? Whereas 14 days is half. 14 to 16 days is half, right? And 28 to 31 days, or 29 to 31 days is a whole month, depending on when the end of the month, where the end of the month ends, meaning when the new moon comes in, right? So Genesis chapter 1. Now he gonna watch this. He gonna watch this. You ain't dodging responsibility. And the fact that you said that, that's bad. So Genesis chapter 1, verse 14, and it reads, and God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. Right? Verse 15, and let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And Yahweh made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also, and God and Yahweh set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And Yahweh saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day. Right? So we could see from the beginning that these constellations were created to help us tell time as children of the Most High. To tell time, right? Now we ain't gonna take it down. We ain't taking nothing down. You good? Be prepared though. Might make jokes. All right. And it's a beautiful thing to have these constellations. Meanwhile, other nations, they're trying to go into space. They're trying to go into other galaxies with, spaceships and powerful telescopes. And by the way, the telescope was created by a black man, right? And they want to go into space, but they have no mastery of the earth. And many of these other nations, they destroyed the earth by the way they treat it, by the way they what animals they eat. Even now, we have chemicals being sprayed in the air, which make birds fall into the ocean and die. We got fish in the sea that are not even considered fish, like tilapia, who don't even know. Like many of these fishes, right? They go by the moon and the sun, just like sea turtles. Sea turtles, based on the moon, they go to the beaches and they lay eggs. They lay eggs, right? They lay eggs. And when they're done laying eggs, based on the light of the moon, they go back towards the ocean. But now, that mechanism, that thought process was given to them by the Most High. Now, you have tilapia, which are fish that are farm raised, meaning they are raised in pits, deep, watery pits, where they swim and they lay feces, and people are eating this. Now, you take a tilapia, which is not even the same as a salmon. The salmon, they swim upstream. There's certain fishes, they swim upstream, which when bears, they go into the forest, they go to the stream, and they wait for salmon to swim upstream to catch them in the air and swat them down to be able to eat. But those salmon, they go swim upstream to lay eggs at a specific space where they were born. Based on what? Based on water, the constellations, the moon, the sun, all that. How do they know where they were born? These are things that we have to think about. Yes, I will. Don't worry. I will read it in Creole. Don't worry. I will. All right. I will. Now let's go to Psalms chapter 10. Psalms 104, verse 19. And he reads, He appointed the moon for seasons. The sun knoweth his going down. That is an understanding. Even between themselves, the sun and the moon, they have an understanding. Let me read that again. This is Psalms chapter 104, verse 19. Well, you know what? Let me start at verse 15. And wine that maketh glad the heart of man, and oil to make his face to shine, and bread which strengtheneth man's heart. The trees which grow by either sunlight or moonlight, depending on if it's moonlight, it's nightshade. fruit or tree, sunlight, which is a normal, you know what I'm saying, a plant that grows by the sun, right? The trees of the Lord are full of sap, the cedars of Lebanon, which he hath planted. Verse 17, where the birds make their nest, as far as for the stork, the fir trees are his house. The high hills are the refuge for the wild goats, and the rocks for the conies, meaning the earth for the rabbits, right? And the hare. He appointed the moon for seasons, the sun knoweth is going down. That means that the moon tells you time the month start, what season you in, right? And then the sun, he knows what time he has to go down. Like in winter, the sun goes down earlier. We have longer, what seems to be longer nights. And that's how you know the scriptures is real, right? Now, let's go to Psalms 27 and verse 4, right? One thing I have desired of the Lord, that will I seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord and to inquire in his temple. But now, how do you know what time it is to go to the temple? It all starts with the moon on Passover. You know, that date, when the precise dating of that time frame allows you to framework all the other high holy days, right? Moon also lets you know when to cut your hair, cut plants, and from plant. Yes, it does, because based on the season, Most High made it where certain fruits and vegetables needs to be eaten to strengthen you, and during the winter, there are certain plants and vegetables and fruits that you eat to strengthen you against a lot of diseases out here, right? And the scriptures even tell you in Sirach, right? Let's go there. Sirach chapter 38. Chapter 38, verse 4. The Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. But if Most High made medicines out of the earth, we should know, learn, understand, and be in tune with the elements and the times and the moon to be able to know when to cut, when to plant, when to pluck up. And that's in the book of, I believe in the book of Isaiah. Right? Which is a beautiful thing. Most High is about timing and order, right? But let's go to Sirach or Ecclesiasticus chapter 43, verse 9. And the moon also has a connection with our women. Even though the sun is a greater light, he knows, like we read in Psalms, he knows, the sun knows when to go down, right? And the moon has a connection with the women, because many of y'all bodily functions go by the moon. Go by the moon. If the moon, if your bodily function or cycles are off kilter, that means that you have a pH or chemical imbalance, which needs to be fixed, right? And to fix that, you have to know what to eat at the proper season, at the proper time. And it's a beautiful thing, right? So Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach chapter 43, verse 9, the beauty of heaven, the glory of the stars, an ornament giving light in the highest places of the Lord. Now let's go up to verse 7. For the moon is a sign of feasts, a light that decreaseth in her perfection. Now, if you read that, What does that mean? I want to know, what does that mean to y'all? Let me read that again. Right? Let me start at verse 5. And it reads, Ecclesiastes 43, verse 5. Great is the Lord that made it, and at his commandment it runneth hastily. He made the moon also to serve in her season for a decoration of times, and a sign of the world. For the moon is a sign of feasts, a light that decreaseth in her perfection. Now, if it decreaseth in her perfection, what does that mean? I want to ask y'all. What does that mean? And I got y'all. No worry, I will read that paragraph in Creole. There's a little bit of history in there, and the language is very different. And I'm going to read it in English, right? No. Let me read that again. For the moon is the sign of feasts, a light that decreaseth. This is the part I want y'all to listen. A light that decreaseth in her perfection. What does that mean? What does that mean? Yes, it does. The moon makes y'all sisters sync up. It should. Y'all should be coming together too and talking about it. Talking about what's going on during the new moon. Does that mean the time for birth to the highest point? No. No. Waxing? No. Okay. I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it slow. And I'm going to explain. Verse 7. For the moon is a sign of feasts. A sign is something that you see, right? It's something that you can see and point out, right? A feast, a light that decreases. Now, a light that decreases, if it decreases, that means that it's turned on, but it's decreasing. That means that it's coming down in its, yes, something that is dimming, right? It's dimming, but it's saying what? It's saying decreases in her perfection. That means that when it's fully lit, it is perfect. But as it decreases in its perfection, that means that that's not the new moon. Because the new moon is empty. It is not full. When it's full, it is perfect. But when it's empty, it is new, like a newborn child. Nobody's born and is fully fledged at their maximum peak. Nobody's born at their best self, basically. I mean, fleshly wise, right? I'm fleshly wise, right? We are all born, newly born. We have to learn. We have to grow into that perfection. We have to grow into that perfection. But we're not born perfect in the flesh. Now, I wouldn't say imperfect, because the full moon is perfect. It's perfect. That means that it is at its highest peak. That means that it's full. It could be seen, right? It could be witnessed by your body. That means that we're at the middle of the month. But it says a light that decreaseth in its perfection. That means that as it decreases, right? It's like the ocean, ebb and flow, right? High tide, low tide, right? But the moon is fully perfect, fully lit, and then it decreases as time goes on, and then it becomes empty again, or it becomes what? The new moon. It can't be seen. You can see it, but it's not fully lit, right? Now, keep in mind, when we left Egypt and we crossed the Red Sea, and the Most High was in front of us with a cloud in the day and a pillar of fire at night. Don't you think the moon was there and we was keeping high holy days? We were. Well, we were waiting for the Most High to teach us how to keep these things, because, my bad, we had to go to Mount Sinai and Moses got the law and all these things. During that time, Most High was getting everything ready. But these constellations, they were there. They were there. It just we didn't know what they were used for. Because at that time it was oral tradition. Okay? When we crossed the Red Sea and we came to Mount Sinai, we went out there for 40 years. 40 years. Right? Now let's go to Joshua chapter 5 and verse 6. It's a lot. My Bible is very Joshua chapter 5, verse 6. And he reads, now all the people that came out, for the children of Israel walked 40 years in the wilderness, till all the people that were men of war, which came out of Egypt, were consumed, because they obeyed not the voice of the Lord, unto whom the Lord sware that he would not shew them the land, which the Lord sware unto their fathers, that he would give us a land that floweth with milk and honey. Right? Now, we had people in Israel that were not following the law, that were not doing what they were supposed to do. And he made us walk for 40 years in the wilderness, right? And that's going to go into the fact that the new moon has to be celebrated. To recalibrate your mind, your body, hey, there's a new moon. We have to come together and check on each other. Hey, what's going on? Say, what's going on, brother? Oh, man, I'm doing this. This is going on. But last month you said that you was going to do this, that, blah, blah, blah. What's going on with that? I don't know. I was trying to do it, but this happened, that happened. All right, let me figure out something for you and figure out if, I can help you out with that. Granted, we should do that every Shabbat. But as we celebrate every Shabbat, we have to have a means, like the Most High ordered us, to celebrate, to do the same thing for the new moon. Even sometimes the new moon falls on the Shabbat, which makes it a double Shabbat. Because the new moon lasts three days. Right? And we know that David, even though Saul was trying to kill him, he presented himself before the Lord. Now he hid behind bushes. Now he was like, "Nah, I got to be there." Even Saul was like, "Yo, how come David's not here? It's a new moon." But not knowing that he was hiding the bushes, he presented himself before the Lord, and he dipped. He dipped. But he showed himself anyway, right? And this is going to go into other things that are important. Now, let's go to Nehemiah, right? Chapter 9. So, Bible pages be acting up, man. Nehemiah. Chapter 9. Chapter 9, and then let's start at verse 1. Now, in the 24th day of this month, the children of Israel were assembled with fasting, with sackcloth, and earth upon them. And the seed of Israel separated themselves from all strangers, and stood and confessed their sins and the iniquity of their fathers. And they stood up in their place and read the book of the law of the Lord their God, one 1/4 part of the day, and another fourth part they confessed and worshiped the Lord, their God. Right? Now, it would be a good habit for all to, on the new moon, you look at what went on last month. Did we make progress? And at the same time, in this case, they were praying and fasting. What happened last month? Man, I went off. Maybe I should fast. Maybe I should, do what is necessary to get better at it. Every month that passes is another opportunity. Every month we hope, Most High willing, that you have upon the earth is another opportunity to do right by the Most High. Right? Because a lot of people don't have that opportunity. They don't have it. They don't get it. And tomorrow is not promised to anybody. Now let's go to verse 21, right? Because it goes, if you have time, read that chapter. Because that was a whole day of prayer. And in that prayer, they went through the whole history of what the Most High done for the nation of Israel. And how, as a people, we just don't get it. We just don't grasp it. How he kicked out 6 nations from the land of Israel, which was the land of Canaan. And we were supposed to live there as the 7th nation, right? Because if you read Nehemiah chapter 9, verse 8, it says, what? And foundest his heart faithful before thee, and madest a covenant with him to give the land of the Canaanites, which is 1 nation, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Jebusites, which is 5, and the Girgashites, which makes 6. My mistake. 6. Wait, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6 nations, right? Which makes 6 nations, to give it, I say, to his seed, and has performed thy words, for thou art righteous. So he kicked out 6 nations, 6 different tribes out of the land of Canaan, so we could move in as the 7th. But what did we do? Verse 17. And let me see. No, verse 16. Let's start there. But they and our fathers dealt proudly, and hardened their necks, and hearkened not, to thy commandments, and refused to obey, neither were mindful of thy wonders that thou didst among them, but hardened their necks, and in their rebellion appointed a captain to return to their bondage. But thou art a God ready to pardon, gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and great in kindness, and forsook them not. Right? Forsook us not. Now, verse 21. Yea, 40 years did thou sustain them in the wilderness, so that they lacked nothing. Their clothes waxed not old, and their feet swelled not. And it's not, if that's not a benevolent God, I don't know who else we are looking at, because he could have left us out there and be like, I'm done with y'all. And many times we a lot of us be doing things that anger the Most High, right? Angers him. But he holds us down. He holds us down. Now, Deuteronomy 29, verse 5. And I have led you 40 years in the wilderness. Your clothes are not waxing old upon you, and thy shoe is not waxing old upon thy foot. Ye have not eaten bread, neither have ye drunk wine or strong drink, that ye might know that I am the Lord your God. And when ye came into this place, Sihon, the king of Heshbon, Og, the king of Bashan, came against us unto battle, and we smote them. Most High that give us that gift to be able to fight these nations, be able to put the hurt locker on them. But we still bucking up to this day. We still bucking up against the Lord, against the Almighty Father. Why? Why? I don't know why. But we have to get our people to understand that if you've tried everything, what is there left to try but to follow the Lord in every area of your life? Because the moon tells you, hey, it's that time of the month. What you doing? Like, ladies, regroup, come together, even if it's a Google Meet or what's it called? A Zoom phone call, Zoom meeting for 1 hour. Yeah, talk, rap, or sing together, have a good conversation with each other. And the men, we come together, celebrate the new moon, talk about it, talk about what's going on with each other. It's one of the greatest elements that we have that these other nations they might use, but most of the time they don't know what they should do. And if they know what they should do, they do the opposite. And even if they do it right, Most High doesn't have pleasure in them. You only have pleasure in us when we do it in righteousness. Because made from the earth, we grow the best fruit and we make the best honey spiritually. The best honey spiritually. How do we know that? Right? This is Ecclesiasticus, Sirach, chapter 11, verse 3. The bee is little among such as fly, but her fruit is the chief of sweet things. Now, let's see. Let's go to Deuteronomy, chapter 32. No, Deuteronomy 7 and 6. Everybody knows this verse, right? I know this, right? We're going to go a little bit lower in the scripture. Deuteronomy 7 and 6. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Now, verse 7. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people. Verse 8. But because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, hath the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the land of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Who's the smallest one? We're the smallest one. You know what I'm saying? The smallest one. And keep in mind, women, sisters, when y'all come together, right? Y'all vibrate at a different frequency than us, the men, but y'all multiply everything y'all do. Now, imagine when y'all come together on the new moon and y'all talk, y'all conversate, y'all celebrate it. Y'all multiply that with each other and broadcast that vibration upon the earth. I'm telling you, that's going to make a great change, man. That's going to be like, boom. It's like a good frequency that only some can catch. And those people that catch it, trust me, they'll vibrate at the same frequency. And if they don't vibrate, they will leave. But I pray unto y'all sisters to try. Because that's our gift. sisters' gifts is whatever as men we give y'all multiply. So if y'all come together, y'all will pollinate each other with that spirit of giving, that spirit of nurturing spirit that will emanate 10 times stronger with each of you. Right? Now, let me see. Now I'm gonna read. I'm gonna please y'all. I'm gonna read the verse that the sisters wanted me to read in Creole, right? And I'm gonna read it in English, the translation. Right? Give me 1 second. Now, it is from a Creole Bible, right? And I'm gonna read, right? It says, Livre Agéa, right? 100 ans après Nahum, Habakkuk, ak Sophonie, Agé paraît. Lesa Zarobabel ak ti respect Israël là, te gen tant tourné sorti dans pays Babylone. Côté yo te déporté yo. Yo te gen tant a bâti bel gros kay pour yo rete la ville Jérusalem. Mais yo pas encore mette main dans temple. Prophète là fait yo connaît l'autre bon Dieu. Bayo. Puis ga yo tan encore envoyo envan pour yo rebâti kay pour yo mette à part pour lia. Bon Dieu seul mettre la pour mettre la fait toutes affaires yo marcher bien. D'affaires yo vivre bien. Yon ak l'autre a ke posé si yo regrette Jean yo te viré Jean yo te viré do balia si yo sorti pour yo servil Jean yo dwe faire. Right? Now I'm going to read it in English. Read it in English. Now, this is from the book of Haggai. It's a preface, right? And it says, 100 years after Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai appeared. At that time, right, Zerubbabel with the nation of Israel came out of Babylon. They rebuilt the city of Jerusalem, but hadn't started to build the temple. Haggai let them know the orders of the Most High. Not to wait until they built the house to be apart from others for his glory. So Most High is saying, build his house first before anything else. So let's look at it this way. In any fortress, right? In any garrison, fortress, or place of operations, militarily speaking, right? You always build a tower, a watchtower, or a place for people to watch if the enemy is going to come. Now, who can we build a home to upon the earth that can match what the Most High could do for us to protect us? Because during the new moons, we're supposed to come about with each other and celebrate. Now, during the days of the Hasmonean dynasty or Maccabees, the Hasmonean dynasty made a decision not to celebrate certain things because if there was war, they was going to go and fight, right? They was going to battle, and they would pray in the midst of battle. Many of you have seen that class where, in First Maccabees chapter 7, verse 41, Judas Maccabeus was praying before battle and going out there. Now, the same way that we build houses, we build garrisons, we build for war, we should build the house of the Lord first. And then when the Most High's house is built and he dwell in there and he pleased with us, who's going to come against us during a new moon or during a feast day? Trust me, Most High love us. We not high. It's not hard for the Most High to confound the enemy. Nah, it's not hard for the Most High to confound the enemy. It's easy. Most High can make. He made us disappear in the desert. He protected us, guarded us. Who came up against us? You know what I'm saying? Moab came against us. What did they do? Most High changed the curse that Moab was trying to throw on us into a blessing. We didn't even need to fight. Right? We didn't even need to fight. But that's how it is. We have to be on that level, on that thought process. Like we can't think, oh, I'm not close by. Whatever you could do to help, you help. Most High, he writes everything in the book of life. He writes everything. Most High keep track. Most High is the greatest bank ever. Right? He said, basically, in the kingdom of heaven, you're going to have palaces upon palaces, mansions upon mansions. So why not build a house that will not, rust or canker or be destroyed? Most High gonna protect us. He got us. He got us. That's a fact. He got us. And then I'm gonna keep going, right? Now, from that paragraph in Creole, it goes on to say this. It said, Most High promised that everything would go well. He would make sure that we would live well and live well with each other, heart, body, and spirit, in peace, right? If they meaning the children of Israel, would regretted how they turned their backs towards the Lord, and they serve him in spirit and in truth, as in the book of John, chapter 4, verse 23, and it reads, God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. Verse 23 above that. Salah. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth, for the Father seeketh such to worship him. Again, God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. If you worship him in spirit, you could worship him within yourself, but a place to go to be able to pray to the Lord, that's something else. That's a watchtower of the Lord during the new moon or holy days, where the enemy will not even find us, not even look for us, right? Not even look for us. So I pray that y'all sisters come together in a new moon. Next time is a new moon, y'all just even if it's for 2 hours, 3 hours, just talk to each other. Multiply that vibration that y'all got with each other. Right? Multiply that. Go on. Most High can make you invisible to some people today. There are people, and when you get into that a certain point in the spirit, you're gonna attract certain people to you because your timing is correct, your aura is correct, your mindset is right. You're on the right time, and you see people talk to you, be like, hey, having a conversation. Oh, why are you wearing that dress? What's those fringes? What's that at the end of your dress? Why are you wearing them ZZs? Why are you dressed like that? So on and so forth. Because sisters, y'all pollinate. Believe it or not, y'all pollinate people. Right? And that's why y'all have a different gifts than us. And we need y'all. Because the same way that the Most High can entreat the enemy to make the enemy to entreat you or to treat you well, he may make the enemy basically fight your battles for you or move away from you. Because that's one of our blessings. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 7. The Lord shall cause thine enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. They shall come out against thee one way and flee before thee 7 ways. 7 ways. Right? Come on. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Under the shadow of the Almighty. You could be with, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But, like, Most High is like, they did have, I'll say this. Anybody that watches, like, cartoons when they were young, you remember Green Lantern? He always has to recharge his ring to be able to go out in space and fly and fight evil, right? I'm making an analogy to the point where when we go to the Lord, he recharges us spiritually. And the new moon is a chance to recharge for the month and look at and pray for what you want to transpire. And put yourself in a mindset where I want this to happen. I want this to happen. And when you say amen, amen means what? It shall be done. Or you asking the Most High for it to be done. Right? By doing that, hey, you just go about the next few days. You just make moves according to what you expect to happen. Because you pray for it on the new moon. So thus, amen, I'm not thinking about it. I'm making moves for it to happen. I'm making moves for things to transpire. And you, by talking to each other, things are going to move accordingly. You're like, bang, bang. And there are times when Most High, even though he gives you what seems to be a problem, more than likely, it's an opportunity. It's just we can't fathom how the Most High moves. We're going to see that. Let's go to Nehemiah. Chapter 2. Nehemiah chapter 2. Let's start at verse 1. Okay, chapter 2, verse 1. And he reads, And it came to pass in the month of Nisan, in the 20th year of Artaxerxes the king, that wine was before him, and I took up the wine and gave it unto the king. Now, I had not been before time sad in his presence. Is Nehemiah speaking. Wherefore the king said unto me, Why is thy countenance sad? Seeing thou art not sick, this is nothing else but sorrow of the heart. Then I was very sore afraid, and said unto the king, Let the king live forever. Why should not my countenance be sad, when the city, the place of my fathers' sepulchres lie waste, and the gates thereof are consumed with fire? Right? Then the king said unto me, For what dost thou make a request? Now, you see that? Now, he didn't even expect for Artaxerxes to be in a good mood. But who put him in that good mood? The Most High God. The Most High God put Artaxerxes in a good mood. It's like anybody that watches The Godfather. In the first movie, everybody went to the wedding of his, I believe, his daughter. Yes, his daughter. And everybody that came, you had a right to ask for whatever favor. This is what happened basically. So The Godfather is nothing new. Most High put the spirit on Artaxerxes to be nice to that man, to be nice to Nehemiah. Right? So I prayed to the God of heaven, and I said unto the king, if it pleases the king, and if thy servant have found favor in thy sight, that thou wouldest send me unto Judah, unto the city of my fathers' sepulchres, that I may build it. And the king said unto me, the queen also sitting by him. I mean, the king and the queen. Y'all know how that go in the scriptures. A lot of the time, the queen be bucking up. Be like, nah, don't do that. But the Most High put it on both of them to allow that man to do what he wanted. To ask and to get what? For how long shall thy journey be, and when wilt thou return? So it pleased the king to send me, and I set him a time. Moreover, I said unto the king, if it pleases thee, the king, let the letters be given me to the governors beyond the river, that they may convey me over till I come into Judah. And a letter unto Asaph, the keeper of the king's forest, that he may give me timber to make beams for the gates of the palaces, which appertaineth to the house, and for the wall of the city, and for the house that I may enter into. And the king granted me according to the good hand of my God upon me. The Most High be moving. All you have to do is new moon, new beginning. Most High, I would pray and preach. I need this in all righteousness. I need this. I need that. Because this, that, the third, blah, blah, blah. And then you say, amen. You speak in spirit and in truth. You tell them everything that's going on. And next thing you know, you say amen. You move accordingly. Like you already got it. You already got it. And look what happened to Nehemiah. That man went in and he said, he said he was sad. He didn't even expect it. Next thing you know, Most High move his hand. It made it happen. And we have to be the same way. We have to be the same way. Every new moon. It's a lot. Every new moon. So, I appreciate y'all. It's been a busy week. Work and being what I do, but Most High is great, man. Most High is good. I can't really complain. So I take everything in stride and ask him things in righteousness. It ain't gonna come on my time, as always. Isaiah 55. Isaiah 55. Let me see. Isaiah 55, verse 9. No, verse 8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. For as the heaven are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts higher than your thoughts. And we got to move in a certain way. Like, oh, it's a new moon. Let me put my list on the wall of my mind. Like, Most High, this is what I need. and you move accordingly. It might take a day, it might take 2 weeks. You might not get it, but you might get a substitute. You might get something better. You might get it for free. And I'm not talking about 5-figure discount. I'm talking about most I just present you with what you needed. Bang. Like, yo, you ain't pay for it. You just got it. Like, scratch your head. You're like, Be like, yo, I'll be like, don't be surprised. Be like, nah, this is normal. This is normal. But always thank the Father. Nah. But it's like, cool. I got it. Thank you, Father. Then you move accordingly. Bang, bang, bang. You know? And it's like, it's a great thing. It's a great thing. So with that, I pray y'all to have a wonderful new moon and a wonderful Shabbat. And whatever you guys ask in fervor, spirit, in truth, righteousness that you desire for this month, let it transpire. By Shema Mashiach Yahushua, for he is the mediator, and let it present it on your behalf. Burn incense tonight, and then, let it be known, like, Lord, I need this, man. I need this. I need this. Can I have this? And Most High obliges. Yahushua speaks on your behalf. Most High obliges. He's the first one to be on the list to be thanked. From the top down. You know what I'm saying? You go from the top down. And then you go to sleep, because we all go to sleep at ease. We all go to sleep at ease. And those that do not, I pray that you do. Because it's a new month, a new beginning, and a wonderful time to be alive. Everything that's transpiring right now, we got to be on our game when it comes to these little, not little, for lack of better words, what seems small has great importance and great power behind it. All right? So with that, I pray on the Most High to bless y'all and increase y'all, and for y'all ladies to come together and multiply that blessing amongst each other. All right? Shalom.